Welcome back to MyKato, where we bring you locally owned businesses that make our community great. Today, we're taking a little spin on things, and I'm going to bring you an inside look at my church, Canvas Church, where we're going to sit down with Pastor Matt Sims. Let's go. Welcome back. I am here with my friend and my pastor, Matt Sims. Thank you for doing this with me.
Thanks for having me, Angie.
Can you tell us a little bit about how Canvas came to be?
Yeah, about 15 years ago, I felt a call from God to start a church. We prayed for years and felt that Mankato was the place we were supposed to be. And so 10 years ago, we moved to town with some friends and started a church. And this fall will be 10 years since Canvas Church started.
And that's when we met.
Yeah. You were our realtor moving into town. We had a referral, and I think you thought it was this cool little side project of a church starting, and you were super supportive. It's been amazing.
And I said, I'll come.
Yeah.
You can tell the story.
Yeah, I think, well, let's see if I remember. I think you said, I'll come, but I'm going to sit in the back and leave right away.
Yeah. Don't call on me.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Don't bring me up on stage. I'll just be in the back. But you were a big catalyst into my faith journey. And I do talk a lot about my faith. I'm unapologetic on that. And I do get a lot of questions from people, like, because I talk about it so often, like, what church do you go to? Where are you at? So that's why I wanted to sit down with you. And can you kind of explain like the overview of Canvas and like what type of service they can expect, or what type of like the intricacies of like the faith base that we...
Absolutely. That's great.
What's the word I'm looking for?
Happy to talk about it. Yep.
Yes.
So we think Canvas is a place where God creates. He creates new life. He creates transformation and community. And so we want to be a place for people where faith comes alive. If that is someone who is interested in God, but thinks that church may not be for them, or if it's someone who has never walked into a church before, we want to be a place that helps people know who Jesus is and help them become more like him. Our services are casual as far as the dress goes. There's a lot of, we have from very young to people in their later years in life, but it's a lot of young families. And we keep Jesus at the center of everything we do. So we try to teach the Bible verse by verse every Sunday with the goal of not just learning some esoteric knowledge, but we actually want to know who Jesus is and what it means to live like him. And so that's what we orient ourselves around.
And we have really good music.
Yeah, yes.
I tell people we have really good music, which is wonderful. I do wear jeans every Sunday.
Yep.
So
this is I'm sure I have worn this to preach before. This would be a normal Sunday get up for me. So.
And I feel like it's super welcoming and not overwhelming, where if somebody came in for the first time, it's not like a swarm is like, oh, a new person, whatever, but everyone you greeted with a smile. People say hello. If you have children, they're kind to them, check them in for childcare if you care to do that, or if you want to bring them with you to have service as well. But it's just really approachable, if that makes sense. And it's not like a stuffy feeling where, and this is no disrespect, we're not on our knees, we're not up and down.
Sure.
There's no chanting. There's no hymnals.
Sure. Yeah. We want to meet people where they're at. We think faith is not just for the church, it's for real life. And so we welcome people who are skeptical, people who have been hurt before, people, like I said, who tried church and thought it wasn't for them. And we just want to meet people where they're at and point them back to Jesus. And so we hope that's what happens. And we celebrate anytime we get to see that happen.
I feel like you're really captivating with your message too, which is, it keeps the engagement, if you will, which I also think is, like, as somebody who's new, I guess I'm 10 years in now. So am I still new? Maybe. Still have a lot to learn. But I like, because I tell people like you, we have really good music that kind of sets the tone for Sunday. We have the word, which is important to get into the actual scripture of it. And then you explain the message. Also, I feel like in real world terms too. And you share stories, and we have other people come in and kind of share what they're doing in the world and help with the kingdom builders and what we're able to do with as a church and plants and kind of spread the word to the world. And it's just such a very welcoming So if anyone wants to come, you can message me. I'll tell you what service I go to. We're switching services.
We're switching. Memorial Day, we are switching back to summer hours. We have a lot of college students here who are here through the year. And so we do 2 services through the school year. And then we're back to 1 service for the summer.
Yep.
So,
so I get to sleep in a little.
Yes. Yes. A later service, which is great. Hey, I'm excited about it too. Yeah.
I don't sleep in though. I'm like ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about kind of your family and how you ended up becoming even a pastor. Like, how did that line up? And you can talk about how you met Rachel.
How much time do we have for this?
We got endless
That's great. And you just edited it down.
Yeah. Slice.
Yes, exactly. I grew up in a great family, grew up going to church, went through a little mini crisis in my teenage years where I kind of tried to see what life was like without faith, and did not go well. Yes, it didn't go well.
Brings you right back.
Yeah. And I think really coming back after that season of a lot of pain and confusion, I think it became real to me. In that season, felt called to ministry. Met my wife in college. I went to college to be a pastor. Met my wife there. We got married right out of school. And then when we moved to town, yes, Rachel, she's amazing.
She is.
Yes, I love my wife.
I do too.
We moved to town. When we met you, we had 1 child, and then we just haven't stopped. And so we have 5 boys now. And so the household is crazy. Everything's broken. But it's great. Everything we do in this place, everything we do in the city, all of our hopes and dreams, I would trade any of it to just have a healthy family and spend time with my wife and kids. And I'm grateful that I get to do ministry with them. So I don't know if that's what you asked, even.
No, it is like how you got into it. But you went to school for it, and you didn't just wake up one day.
No, and decide that I'm going to be a pastor.
Yeah.
So, and I'm grateful. I went to North Central University. It's an amazing college. I think learning what the Bible is, how it came to be, how do we study it and read it well, and I think is important for any Christian. But I'm grateful that I got to go to school for it, which is pretty great.
And you go like deep into theology of it, all the things.
I would love to go deeper. I love nerdy little conversations, but I know that's not always what Sundays are for. Yeah. But no, we try to. I think understanding the context and what it's really saying matters. I think if people are impressed with anything, you mentioned sermons are captivating, which is funny. My wife gives me a hard time, and it's true that I'm not a very funny pastor. I don't know. I'm not a great storyteller, but I do think the Bible's captivating. And so I think that draws people in, and hopefully telling a story of what's really going on in Scripture it excites people. And I hear that from people, which is great.
Yeah. So we have a mutual friend. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to name him, but you'll know because I live this. And so he had never gone to church ever. And his wife grew up going to church and wanted to go to church. And then kind of our connection for business and whatnot, and me talking about our faith. And he one day was like, my wife wants me to go to church. Like, what church do you go to? And I'm like, I go to Canvas. So I go to the early service. So get there early. He's like, okay.
There's more space at the early service.
Well, I'm like, my kids are up at 6:30. Like, I'm ready to rock and roll at 8:30. Let's go. Yeah. And so came to church. And so the only experience he's ever had is here. Then you had one thing you've never done is you opened it up to spontaneous, what'd you call it?
Spontaneous baptisms. Meaning we didn't have to go through a class where our staff had a quick conversation with them mid-service, and then you can get baptized that Sunday.
Yep. If your heart's calling you to be baptized. And so I see my friend and his wife, who's kind of, and all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh my goodness. And then he ended up, and both him and his wife ended up getting baptized that day, which was
it's a really special Sunday.
And I'm like, if I played like this much into it, it's just like so good.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to look at the little things that we do and realize God was using it maybe when we didn't even realize it.
Well, I told him, I said, I will tell you right now, God put it on your heart to have the spontaneous baptism because you've never done it in 10 years.
This was just a few months ago.
Yep. And I said, it's because God wanted you to be baptized that day. So he orchestrated all of this for you. Yeah. And how cool is that? Yeah. And he's like, I think so. It's just so cool. But so to that point too, I was out of town for Easter. I went to a different church service with my kids, and that was fine. But it was a very different than how we do service here. Yep. A very more traditional. It's not for me.
Just not your preference.
It's just not for me. Yeah. And that's okay. And I'm sure some people probably don't, and that's fine.
Yep.
But so I went back to my friend and I was like, you should actually go see some other churches. So you can just understand you don't know how good you have it. This is your first experience.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up when I was little going to East Swadall Church with my grandma.
Sure.
The whole Lutheran. There's a name for it.
Yeah.
He's convicted. She still doesn't know this after 10 years.
No.
He's wearing like his white outfit
Yeah.
that I think people expect you to wear. The whole thing.
Yeah.
And it's hymnals and whatever. And grandma's reading, and then you don't speak. If you move too much, she pinches you. And my grandma is like bruises because I wouldn't sit still enough.
Yeah. But
growing up to that type of church, so like even kind of in my, I would say college and then young professional. I mean, I've been 32 a few times now, so I'm young professional still.
Yeah.
Thanks for not laughing too hard at that.
It's great. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
What church was and what I didn't really expect it to be. So that's why when you were like, well, you should come and see it. And so I was like, I'll be in the back. Like, well, might dip out early. No offense. Sure, I'll come support you. Appreciate, thanks for in the house. And so it's just been such a great experience and like growing into it and feeling like I have a home and talking to people and getting to know different families about the church. It's just been, and like supporting and like ebbs and flows in lives and moments. And there's been some hard times, and you and Rachel have been there to put a big hug around us. And I appreciate that.
Well, I think that's what church is for. That's what community is for.
Yes.
And I think it is. I mean, you said this already, but there's each church has different values.
For sure, yes.
And
it's for different people.
I don't hear it, but like I think that's where if you've been to other churches, I think one of the amazing things is that you can watch church online now, and so you can check out 5 churches in town in an afternoon and get a feel for, hey, what are they valuing? Where do they place a value on the Bible, on tradition, on worship? And then you still don't know exactly what it's going to be like when you walk in the doors, but at least you have a feel of, hey, is this something that I feel like I want to invest into, or something at least I'm going to be comfortable at for a service? And so it's been a great 10 years of walking through life and the ups and downs and worshiping Jesus together.
Yeah. And if anyone wants to go, send me a DM. I will happily save you a seat. I sit in the same spot.
Yeah, every week.
I like my routine. I like my things. Yeah. One time it was off. Jackson's like, wanted to sit in the back row. And I was like, nope, you got to sit right here.
Yes.
I'm like, Mommy just like
one row forward in 10 years.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, yeah,
that's
pretty much.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah. Well, we've been through, if you first started at the Kato Ballroom.
Yep.
And then we went over to...
and let me pause quick. Let me explain what that was like.
Yeah,
so church in the ballroom was for the first year of a church, we rolled a truck up, unloaded screens and TVs and kids stuff at 5:30 a.m. and set up a church in the Kato Ballroom every week. And it was a lot of work, but it was and tore down every week. There were times we were cleaning up from wild parties the night before, and it was great. It was a great place to start. And then we transitioned about a year into the church out from there.
Yep. Yeah. And then
under 169.
Yeah.
We were in a church. Actually, there was an amazing New Creation is another church in town. They had bought a building and created a worship space and had ended up selling that off. And we were this little church only a year in. But this building had been built out to be a church, and we were able to move in there and rent that for 3 years. And then in 2020, we're here in Madison East Center. And it's really an amazing story, but how we ended up in here, we still didn't have a lot of resources at that time to build something out, but really just miracle after miracle worked it out. So we've been in Madison East Center since 2026, it's been great.
Is it ever going to change?
We are
God
already
willing?
working on it.
God willing?
We are taking steps forward. So we're dreaming big for the next spot.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Great. We want to be a part of Mankato for decades. At the end of every service, we stand together and say our benediction. So we do some repeating. We have everyone say Ephesians 3, 20 and 21. And it's this benediction, and it says, now to him who's able to do immeasurably more than all we can ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us, to him be glory in the church and in Christ Jesus. And then I love this ending part. Basically, we want Jesus to be known. That's the whole thing, that God's going to do way more than we can ask or imagine, and not just for us, but throughout all generations. And so when we think about our future as a church, we're not just doing it for the people who are here now, that we love all of the families. We want this to go for our kids and grandkids. We would love to see our kids get married here and see their kids grow up. And we want to be a church that a generation or 2 or 3 or 5 down the road in Mankato, we're still serving the city, still loving people here and helping people who need some hope. And so that's the dream.
I love it.
It's great. Yeah.
Do you have any reason or thoughts, or the boys have any aspirations, do you think? I mean, I guess Noah, because Noah's
ministry?
11?
Yeah, our oldest is 11.
Yeah.
No, not yet.
Yeah.
It is funny, you'll as a parent ask, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? We've got 5 boys. And I've joked with my wife, not one of them has ever said they want to be a pastor. And I've joked with her, man, I don't know if I'm making this look very fun, but none of them look at what dad does and says, hey, I want to do that with my life. But we also know, I didn't get into it because I thought it looked fun. It really was a calling, and we'll see what God does throughout their life. And maybe one of them will be called. And if not, I don't think you have to be a pastor to live a great Christian life.
For sure.
I think you can go be an amazing Christian in the marketplace or in the home or in a church and
real estate.
And real estate, absolutely. So yeah, we'll see what he does.
Yeah, I'm good with my calling.
That's good.
Like your friend in Thailand.
Yeah,
I'm like,
we just had a missionary from Thailand in recently.
I'm kind of like glad that wasn't my calling.
I
don't know. I like Thai food, but I don't know if I can do that.
You're just 24/7.
So yeah. I think it's awesome what people do, and using your gifts and talents and what you have and what God put you on earth to do.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the answer, is not to live. It's not a cookie cutter life to huddle up in the church, but it actually is the definition of a pastor in Ephesians chapter 4. It gives like the job description of a pastor, and it's to set everyone else up to be like Jesus and to serve the world. And that's kind of what it describes a pastor as. And so not to make everyone, we love church, we love that we get to gather in this place, but it's to go back into the world and serve people and be like Jesus. And so
you do a great job at that, you and Rachel.
Well, we appreciate it. We really, really love being in this town. We love what we get to do and hope to be here for a long time.
What is your favorite Bible verse?
So the verse that comes to mind when you ask that is a verse it's either 1st or 2nd Timothy. I don't remember the exact reference. I don't know why this came to mind. I wouldn't say it's my all-time favorite, but it came to mind right now. And it says, make it your ambition to lead a quiet life, to work hard with your hands and win the respect of outsiders so that you won't be dependent on anybody. And I don't know why they came to mind now, but I do really desire to live a life where I'm not trying to be the center of attention. I just want to work hard to serve people. And I feel like that's kind of our calling in ministry, is to lift other people up. And so that verse is inspiring, and maybe even along with what we've talked about of being a great Christian in any role, is to live a quiet life and to serve other people. And so,
I love that. What's been your proudest pastor moment?
There's different events that we've done that I sit back and look at a large event and I'm really proud that we pulled it off. But honestly, it's probably the little stories. For example, back-to-back weeks, I just had a college student walk out of church 2 weeks ago, and not someone I've connected with. I did not know his name, though I wish I would have known him previously. And he was in tears and said, I'm a senior graduating college. This is my last Sunday. This has been my church home the last 2 years, and my life has changed here. And I got pretty emotional. And on one hand, I wish I would have known his story. So we walked inside and we chatted for 5 or 10 minutes. His name is Gage, and just got to hear what God has done, what this place has meant to him, what his future plans are. He's engaged. And last Sunday had a similar experience of a college student that is also graduating, and just had a lot of good things to say about what God's done in her life during her time here. And so those little moments, like any job, it's a grind. It's a huge amount of work. And I think those moments where you get to hold on to, hey, something real is happening here. Lives are changing. People are coming to know Jesus more than any big production. We've flown speakers out before for large conferences, and it's those, I suppose, baptism Sundays. That's where you get to hear those moments and see what God's doing in someone's life. So I hold on to those really tightly.
Will you, speaking of that a little bit, kind of changing gears, go over baptism versus dedication and kind of how we choose to do it at our church?
Yeah, fantastic. So the way that we practice, a lot of people think of baptism in churches, and they think of infant baptism or child baptism.
In
the water or being sprinkled. And so there are many faith traditions that decide to do that. Our conviction when we read scripture is we see baptism is a decision someone makes when they place their faith in Jesus. And we see that pattern. I don't know how much you want me to preach. We see that pattern throughout the Bible, I'll say. And so what we do is we have an open invitation to, it can be older children, teenagers, or all adults who are in that place of placing their faith in Jesus and saying, I recognize what this means. I recognize that it isn't simply tradition. It's something I want to spend my life knowing Jesus, worshiping him, and following him. And so when people make that decision, we have a conversation to kind of hear where their heart is at. And then we have a service where we have a big water tank up on stage, and we have them share their story of what God has done in their life. And then we baptize them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Baptize in the original language means immerse. As they're fully immersed, they go under the water, they come up, the whole church celebrates. It's a fun environment. And then we still want to do, you mentioned dedication. Parents still want a significant moment at the beginning of children's lives to say, hey, I want to raise my children in faith, and we want to honor that. And so we don't do child or infant baptisms, but we do have parents come up and kind of as a community say, as a both an individual family who's trying to raise kids to know Jesus and to follow him, and as a community, we want to gather together around these kids and kind of publicly make a declaration that we're not going to be perfect parents, but that we're going to do the best job we can to help guide our kids on that path to know Jesus. And so that kind of marks early on in children's lives for us in our tradition. And then baptism is the big step forward of, okay, I'm going to follow Jesus now.
I love it. Somebody had asked me, and I said, I kind of describe it as like baptism is free will. You make the decision, and dedication is your parents saying, we're going to do our best to dedicate you to the Lord.
That's a wonderful way to say it.
I don't know.
No, it's great. It's great.
But yeah, and it takes a village, and it has people, and you have a community to help you.
Yeah.
No one's meant to do life alone.
Yes. Yeah.
So I love this. We could talk.
Yeah. This is great. This is great.
Any last thing you want to anyone who's maybe watching this that is like, I see her talking about this a lot. I see how happy she is. She radiates from this,
Yes. All the
just
things
about,
we would all say
and all the
about
good
you.
things.
Yeah.
Just keep coming.
Yeah.
Just about like faith and like what it can do for a person if you let God into your heart and kind of give control. Somebody maybe wants to step into that a little bit. Like, what are some advices you would give to somebody other than just reach out to me? I'll come with you on Sunday. Like I said, you can sit next to me.
That's great. I love it. I would say I think we're all asking big questions in life. We go through life and try to do the best we can. Maybe we get married and have a family and pursue a career, and those are all good things. Or maybe people take a different path. But underlying it all is a question of, why am I here? I think people wonder, am I lovable? They see their mistakes and they feel the weight of those mistakes. The Bible calls that sin. And I think there's a draw on everyone's heart to connect with God, to connect with the eternal. And so I would say, if you're experiencing that, if you have had those questions, if you've wondered about God or faith, I would say don't ignore that. Yes, message Angie.
Well, they can message you. They can talk to you directly.
They can reach out to that. But I do think it's meaningful to have a friend or someone that, Angie repeated it a bit ago, we're not made to do life alone. I think sometimes sitting down, I'm happy to answer any questions, but sometimes sitting down with a person who just says, hey, this is my real life, this is what this has meant to me, is really significant. And then open up the Bible and read it. I think Jesus is great. Open the book of John and just see who Jesus is for yourself, and then get connected with the church. Canvas Church is fantastic, but we're not the only church in town. And there are many churches in Mankato that are great places to worship Jesus. And so find a community that you can sit in the back and check it out for a Sunday, and maybe 10 years later say, hey, my life has changed in this place.
Yeah.
So.
Just go up one more row. More row every decade.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in the next one here soon.
That's great.
And I think it shouldn't be intimidating. You don't even have to own a Bible.
Yep.
There's no place in your life that you're too far to one side that God can't forgive you.
Yeah.
And I think people need to remember that.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, we all have to stand in front of him.
Yep.
And hopefully we can stand on our own business and why we need to be where we need to be. I always try to say, I hope that I leave this earth giving more than I took, and making a little bit of a better difference for other people, but also my kids and generations to come, like you said.
I love that. I mean, that's the good news. When we read the Bible, that's the good news that we see, is that we are broken, that we are a mess on our own, what I described in my own life, and that in the middle of our mess, God loves us, and he saves us and rescues us and sent his son Jesus to die for us and rose again. And so that's the center of every Sunday, is that we celebrate that. We celebrate that he would love broken people like you and me. Yeah. And that someday, we're part of his family because of what he's done. And so that's what we celebrate, and that's what we worship. My goal is to hear, well done, my good and faithful servant. I love that. I love it. My goal too. So that's great. That's great. Yeah. Thanks for being here. This is great, Angie. I love it. Thanks for what you're doing. Yeah, this is wonderful. Yeah. Stay tuned till next time.